so we can truly create a new identity for you, because that is the only way to make weight loss last, first of all, and to make it easier, not banging your head into a wall, pulling teeth to lose the weight, is to find a way to make weight loss part of your life. And the only way to really do that is to create a new identity. Now, I'm not suggesting that we're all awful human beings and we have to be someone different to get where we want to be with our energy levels and our health and our wellness in our body. Absolutely not. Of course, there are plenty of parts of you that are lovely, plenty of habits that have gotten you to great places in your life. Maybe you have a really, really fulfilling relationship, or a lovely home, or a super awesome career, or amazing children. Like, clearly there are habits and behaviors and actions that you have taken that have really worked for you, right? But for whatever reason, that hasn't also trickled over into caring for your own body and being where you want to be with your energy levels and your weight and your health and how you feel about yourself. And so, of course, we are going to keep parts of you. I'm not suggesting that we're all miserable and the only way in order to be happy is to ditch all of these parts of you and find this new identity. However, I do talk with a lot of women in my VIP transformation program start the program and come to me and say, I had kids, I got really busy with my career, I got married, all of these things happened. And, fast forward 5-10 years, I looked in the mirror one day and I felt really lost. I didn't know who that was looking back at me any longer. And Claire, I'd really, really like to find that person again, right? So a lot of people come to me already kind of unclear about what their identity is right now, outside of being mom, and where their very clear identity went. And so the language that these women use when they come into my program is, I'd like to find myself again. And I want to start this by suggesting that we are not finding you again. You again suggests like we're going to go back and rewind time and go to the past and find this person. You are not that person anymore that you were when you were 20 or 25 or 30 or 35, before you got distracted and lost track of yourself. You're not that person, nor would I think you would want to go back to being that person, because you've grown and learned and developed in many other avenues of your life. So we don't want to find ourselves again. We want to figure out who it is that we want to become. What identity do we want to adopt? What cloak, what mask do we want to put on and put out into the world? And maybe that does include some pieces from your past, who you were before you kind of got lost in the shuffle of life. Maybe you don't want to even find that person again. I know before I was married and had kids, I was a bit lost even then, right? And then I got lost even more in the shuffle of marriage and children and career and, caring for everybody else. And I didn't want to find myself again. I just wanted to figure out who I wanted to be and learn how to be that person, right? Just jump into being that person. And how is this so impactful for weight loss, y'all? Because if you want health and fitness in your life, if you want to lose weight and keep it off forever and not be dieting and yo-yoing, then you have to change some fundamental beliefs, behaviors, habits. And the only way that we can change those things is to create a new identity for you. If you are someone who is trying to quit smoking and you say, oh, I'm trying to quit smoking, but I've always been a smoker, and I don't know, because that's just kind of who I am. I'm a smoker. I've always been a smoker. But I can tell you right now, you're not going to quit smoking. Absolutely not, because you have not adopted the identity of someone who does not smoke. Whereas if you were quitting smoking and one day you said, I'm not a smoker anymore, I don't smoke, then we have started to adopt a new identity, and the habit sticks because you have adopted a new identity around the habit. Does it make sense? So important to understand that concept. Creating new habits that last long term is incredibly difficult if we cannot change the identity around it. So if your identity with weight loss specifically is, it's always been really hard for me. I've just always kind of been, I was that fat kid in school. Weight loss has always been difficult. I always have given up. It just doesn't seem doable for me. Like, you've created this identity for yourself around weight loss of struggle. Yeah, I talk to people who say things like, well, I've just always been overweight. Okay, well, then we are accepting the identity of being overweight. We cannot create new behaviors that turn into long-term habits if we are attached so deeply to the identity of, I've just always been overweight, right? So we have to create the shifts in our mind of who is it that we want to become, and what actions are we taking to become that person. So if the identity is, I've always been overweight, then perhaps the new statement is, I am now working to take care of my body and eat the right things, right? It doesn't need to have this emotional intensity wrapped around it that creating an identity of the statement, I've always been overweight, kind of creates that emotional impact for you. So your journaling assignment today was all about helping you find that new identity. A lot of times when we start the journey of weight loss, all we think about is that we want to be smaller, or that we'd like something to fit better, or we'd like this area of our body to not be so mushy, or I'd like to see a little bit more muscle over here, right? And all of those things are awesome. They are end results of taking care of your body, but they're incredibly superficial. And not superficial as in like, oh, that's really egotistical and superficial, but superficial as in surface level. And surface level goals will not get you the change that you really want. Surface level goals are very easy to quit. It's very easy to give up on, I'd like this part of my body to be a little bit less mushy. It is very difficult to give up on, I have a new identity of somebody who wakes up and takes care of my body because I love myself and I want to do that for myself and my family, right? The outcome is the same. Well, actually, the outcome is better if you work on creating the new identity, because the chances of you getting to your goal and then sustaining that goal, maintaining that life, is a whole lot higher than if we attach to the superficial. So when we attach to those surface level ideals and don't take the time to think about this new identity that we are creating, we quit easy. We get lost real easy. It becomes hard too easily. And there's nothing to keep us attached to the process. So that is why it is so incredibly important for you to do today's homework and think about who it is you want to become. Now, again, when you're doing this, keep in mind, it does not mean we are ditching all of these parts of you. It is also not an exercise in self-judgment or like self-depreciating language and behavior to be like, oh, there's this part of me I really don't like and I should change it and be like this. No, it is just allowing yourself to visualize and get excited about who it is that you want to be. What that life looks like for you, what that life feels like for you, how you're going to be with your energy, how you're going to spend your time, how you're going to make your money, who you're going to spend time around, and getting really clear about who this person is, right? And what this person does. So I want to give you a few tips on this creation of a new identity. It is not an easy process. It is a process that takes time. And so that first step is to sit down and do the homework of what is this new identity I want to create, right? But then we must also, take the steps daily to move towards being that person. And that's easier said than done. So the number one, well, let's go through 5 steps here. The first step is beyond who you want to become, this identity that you want to adopt. Behind that identity is how you want to feel. At the end of the day, everything that we do because we believe it's going to make us feel a certain way. And so you have desires of how you want to feel. For me, I would like to feel peaceful and calm and joyful and excited in my life and energized and passionate, right? So you need to get very crystal clear, not just on the identity, but what that identity is going to make you feel. What feelings are you attempting to bring into your life by wanting to lose weight? For a lot of people, it's more confidence. For a lot of people, it's more self-worth, self-love, pride in ourselves, because we know we are doing something good for ourselves instead of making the easy choices, which are typically the poor choices for our bodies. And so for a lot of people, what they want to feel is the confidence, right? The love for themselves. So you need to decide and get very clear on, what do I want to feel as I approach being this new person and having this new identity, okay? Well, let's say we have gotten very clear. We want to feel more confident. We know for sure we are attempting to lose weight because we want to feel more confident, because this new identity, this lady is rocking at her job because she asked for the raise, because she has more confidence. And because she asked for the raise, now she has more money and she can afford to take her family on vacation, and she's wearing a bikini at the beach, and her husband is just mesmerized by her. And she is so full of excitement and energy, and she's running on the beach with her kids. And this is all because she just has more confidence, right? So connect with it at that level. Make a story for yourself. And then once you know, okay, I want to lose weight because I want more confidence. How do you get the confidence, right? Well, one is that when you put in the steps and the effort, it gradually grows as you feel more pride in yourself. But there's a shortcut. It is called acting as if. So if we want to be more confident, we act more confident. If we want to be happier, we act happier. If we want to be more wealthy, financially abundant, we act with more abundance. We need to consider, how would somebody act who already has that personality trait, that quality, that feeling that we want to bring into our life? How does somebody act who is confident? Perhaps they voice their opinion more, or they put themselves out there a little bit more. Maybe they try new things. And so once we decide, what does confidence look like in a tangible way in the world, you act that way. If you want to be confident, act confident, right? And it feels very weird at first. It feels like you're faking it. It's very false. But your brain doesn't know the difference between what is happening out here in reality and what's happening inside. Truly, your brain is just a program. It's just all these chemical reactions and energetic cellular synapses. Said easily there. And so if your brain doesn't know the difference between what is happening inside and what is happening outside, if you act that way, eventually your brain adapts to that, and it becomes a more natural process, and you will find yourself being more confident and taking the steps that you want to take. So figuring out what you want to feel is step one. Acting as if it's already happened. Acting as if you are that person is step two. Step three is acknowledging that it's really not that simple, and at times it's going to be difficult. There will be negative feelings that come up. You will be like, oh my God, I'm not confident right now. I feel like a wallflower. I feel so bad about myself. And just know that that's okay. We can't judge ourselves for the negative feelings. We just need to understand that those negative feelings come from a lot of years of programming, what other people have told you, what you heard when you were little, comments from the world, feedback that, things you've read, things you've heard. It's all just programming, and those negative feelings are going to happen. As long as you are really attached to who it is that you want to be and how you want to feel, just allow those feelings to come and go. But it's very important to know that it's natural. It's okay to feel shaken and to feel like you're not confident sometimes. But I still feel that way sometimes. And I've been doing this for, over 10 years. And there are some days that are like, I don't know. And that's okay, right? What's not okay is letting those negative feelings stop you from continuing to move towards the person that you ultimately want to become, right? Is allowing those negative feelings to shut you down rather than just know that it happens and jump right back on the horse of how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? And then just acting that way, right? Step 4 is to get really excited. Put it out there into the rest of the world that these things are happening to you, right? When you're acting that way, you can get very excited about things that haven't even happened yet because you're acting as if they already have happened. You're acting as this person. And the more you act that way, the more it will happen, right? So getting excited about something that hasn't happened yet really does make it happen for you. If you're not excited about it, if you're not excited about losing the weight and the body that you're going to achieve because you're like, well, it hasn't happened yet, then it's not going to happen. So we got to get excited, knowing that it's totally possible. You keep acting as if the confidence is there, if that's the thing that you really want out of weight loss, and then get excited. Like, yes, I'm such a confident person. This is so amazing. What a cool life I have developed for myself out of learning to be confident, out of losing this weight and having energy again. Wow. Right? Get excited before it happens. And then step 5, it's very important to look at what are your biggest excuses, justifications, reasons for why you feel and do and are how you are right now. And so I hear all of the time, I don't have time, or I don't have money, or I don't have knowledge, or I don't know where to start. I feel overwhelmed. I have too many kids to take care of. I have 2 jobs. Like, I need you to recognize that every single one of those things that you are putting in your way of being the person that you want to be is an excuse. And that's not to say that your excuses aren't valid. They're totally freaking valid. We are all on lockdown at the moment. Like, we have kids to take care of. We have jobs to take care of. We have spouses to take care of. You're not making up your excuses. I'm not saying that. But they are excuses. Anything that you can put in front of you as a justification for not taking care of yourself is an excuse. And there's lots and lots and lots of them. Like, we could justify, if you're overweight right now, you could easily say, yeah, well, like, I've had a really stressed out life and I never had the money to buy the right food. And my husband was totally not supportive of me losing weight. And every time I tried, like, I got distracted because my kid got sick. And then, like, we lost our house and, like, I'm overweight because, like, there's just been all this shit that's happened. That's not empowering in any way, right? But we believe it. We believe our excuses. So it is time for you to stop believing the excuses. Because at the end of the day, things will continue to happen. Life is messy. There's never going to be a time when all the stars align and everything is right for you to have your own time and all the money in the world and all the knowledge to just lose weight, right? If we're okay putting an excuse in front of us, then we're always going to find one. So you need to look at your excuses and say, really? Really? Do I believe that? Like, really? The amount of women who tell me they don't have enough time, But then they're scrolling on Facebook, they're watching Netflix, they're going out to dinner with girlfriends or having happy hours. There's time, right? Maybe we would like to have more time. Maybe we don't want to trade Netflix time for working out time because we're tired and we just want to lay on the couch, right? So I'm not saying your excuses are not valid. I get it. I get it. You feel like your energy is maxed, right? You don't have time because all of the energy that you have is gone and you just want to lay there. I get it. But let's acknowledge, let's be okay saying, hey, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. I really do have time to spend 5 more minutes in the morning making something nutritious to eat for myself rather than just running out the door and not eating anything until noon. I really do have time to order something better at the drive-thru versus the burger and fries that I am ordering, right? You got to peel back your excuses, right? There are many of them. You need to do the work to look at what are your biggest justifications of how you have landed where you're at right now with your health, your wellness, your energy, your body, right? And do those excuses really hold weight? If you are taking a very hard, honest look at yourself, do those excuses really, really add up? Or have you maybe just put these things in your path? Put these excuses in your path because it's a difficult path and it's a whole lot easier to put something in front of you and shut it down. And that's the identity that you have created for yourself. And so this new person that you want to become with these new feelings that you want to have, and you're acting as if you already have these feelings and you're acting as if you already are this person, what excuses would that person have? What excuses does this woman 5 years from now that's making more money, rocking the world, wearing her bikini on vacation, running around with the kids, having so much fun and energy and joy, what excuses does that woman have? I'm guessing not the same ones that you've put in your way right now. But guess what? You get to change your identity at any time. You get to step up and say, this is who I want to become. This is how I want to feel. This is the action step I'm taking today to get to be that person. So when you do your journaling homework today, keep all of those things in mind as you design this new identity for yourself and this new person that you want to move into. Understand that it is 100% possible to change anything and everything that is not working for you right now in this moment. And it really all comes down to understanding how you want to feel and then taking action steps to feel that way. 1 hour after another hour after another hour. There is no finish line. There is no end to this process. It is a lifestyle of deciding who it is that you want to be and being okay with ditching all the old stuff that wasn't working for you without any judgment. It's okay to have made poor choices before. It's okay to have made really shitty habits that have gotten you to a place where you are just feeling stuck and unhappy. That is okay. What's not okay is to let that hold you back from everything else that you can still be and do and have. So I hope that makes sense to you. I would like to hear some comments, some feedback, some thoughts about this topic, especially as you get through your homework assignment today. So happy day 2. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever it is you are, and I will see you on here tomorrow.